Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the second day of the playoffs. I don't know what to say. I'm so excited. It's going to be awesome today, and who other than to join me is Louis TK. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good, thank you. I had a good night's sleep and I'm raring for today to go. So yesterday's matchup, what an amazing turnout. It was amazing by all the teams that played yesterday.
Yeah, minimum wage. They won the Division 3 playoffs, beat Snakebite 4-1. It felt like a bit of a one-sided affair, really. Prefer Nightlife in the fourth playoff game against Meteor. That was a really enjoyable game as well. I think all the games we had yesterday, as one-sided as some of them were, it proves there are some good players in even just the third division.
Yeah, definitely. Especially Meteor going toe-to-toe with the top-seeded team of Division 3. It was quite spectacular from them guys. They played absolutely well, and they shouldn't be disappointed in their performance at all. They played really well, and all the teams played really well, to be honest.
They did.
Except for Prefer Nightlife. Like you stated, they preferred to play at night, and they did come out in the end, didn't they? They played very well towards the end. But
they did.
That first game was... I don't know where they were on that first game. But
no, I think especially the second or third game when it came down to like a 5-4 win in the end, how close it was to becoming 5-5 in the last second, almost overtime for Meteor in that game. And that was one of the most exciting bits of Rocket League competitive I've seen in quite a while. It was really good.
Definitely. So today we have eNightmare versus Igneous Esports Academy, and then followed by Irrelevance Black versus Godalians. So let's talk about this first match, eNightmare versus Igneous. So we'll talk about eNightmare first. And they played quite a good series, it seems here. They're at second place here, only losing one game. They've won 18 matches out of 10. Quite a close call to Irrelevance Black, to be honest. The only reason why Irrelevance Black done well is because they've done a forfeit, and obviously that doesn't go against their points, unfortunately. But I don't know whether it could have changed the points around, so maybe eNightmare could have been first if it wasn't for that forfeit. Who knows? But I know eNightmare are a good unit as a team.
Yeah, the two sides, when they met in the league earlier, eNightmare won the fixture 3-2, so that one did go to all 5 maps. And actually looking through the scores previously, lots of the Igneous Esports Academy matches, lots of them have gone either 4 or 5 matches, so it's showing that it's been quite competitive here in Division 2. And if I look also at eNightmare, again, lots of them have been... For eNightmare, actually, lots of them have actually been a lot more one-sided. 3-0s, 3-1s coming out in favour of eNightmare. So definitely going into this, I'm predicting eNightmare to look stronger based on just the results that we've seen from them so far.
Definitely. I mean, looking at their stats compared to Igneous, I mean, they've got better goals per game, assists per game. Their saves per game is a little bit lacking compared to Igneous, and the same with the shot percentage. So that might go against them maybe, but I'll see. Igneous Esports might work out on them if they get their defensive on point today. So you're thinking eNightmare might take this one, do you reckon?
Yes, I can see it happening their way. They've got Andy, Sirax, Dutch, Carito within their roster. Some good names in there. Names people would recognise from this community as well.
Yeah, and definitely. I mean, eNightmare, I think it was Sirax has managed to climb quite the table in the ranks. I think he was 1600 in GC. It was
really?
Pretty impressive. Yeah, he was showing me yesterday. He was like 1660 or something like that. And I was like, whoa, damn, son. But, yeah. Okay, so over to Igneous. Well, Igneous, they're a pretty good unit team. I don't think TomTom's playing today because he unfortunately had to go. So they've had to get someone else in to come play for him instead. So it'd be interesting to see who's coming on that. But they can play really well together. I think we've seen in time before. I mean, they're currently positioned third on the.
Yeah,
They're
finished third.
pretty all-round team, to be honest. Winning 17 matches out of losing 14 matches, winning 4 games out of 3. So I mean, in terms of stats as well, I mean they're looking pretty close again. I mean they're not. I mean goals per game is 2.2 goals per game, assists 1.5, saves per game is, as I was saying, is better than 3.5, and shots is slightly better than.
Actually, I'll tell you what. Collectively, Igneous Esports Academy, they've got the highest total score out of all the games they've played.
Oh, okay.
Aside from eNightmare.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. So it could be either game really. Then this could be either. It could be eNightmare's game or it could be Igneous's game. Who knows?
Could be balance going into it.
Yeah, it could be. But there's only one way to find out, and that's to go into the match. But I've got to do my prediction. So I don't know. Just because I think eNightmare are quite a neat packed kind of team, and I think they're going to come out on top of this. I think eNightmare. I think Igneous is as good as they can be. I don't think they're going to be able to beat eNightmare on this one, but I think it'll be a close game. I think it'll be going. I think it'll probably go 6 games to eNightmare. I think we'll get to the 6th game, and then I think eNightmare will take this one. So I would join you on this one as well, and I think eNightmare will take this game.
Yeah, it'll be a close game, but eNightmare, just the fact that they've got a lot more solid wins and a lot more solid, not just clean sheets, but just the idea that they've gone and won series of games unbeaten as well, without dropping a map.
Yeah, definitely. So I think without further ado, I think we should go and see this game. I think everyone else is excited, and I think we need to get that hashtag going again, because it was quite nice to see that Twitter page being used. So what is that hashtag, Louis?
Hashtag ECC playoffs. We'll give a little mention to anyone who's got any interesting thoughts. Get your predictions in chat as well. Do use the Twitter hashtag and get all across the social medias of the ECC.
Yeah, definitely. And if you guys want to check out more what you do at the ECC, you can check out our links below. We got links to our Discord channel, and you can see all the behind the scenes of goings on. And then we also have our YouTube channel where you can see all previous streams here that are played at the ECC. We also have our Twitter page, which is at EUCCGG. We also have our tournaments page where you can see all the all the teams that are currently playing in the league currently. Then we also have our. So I just got to set this match up again because someone was being a bit silly in the match. It's always typical, isn't it? We try and get everything ready, and then always something just goes wrong.
Yeah.
It's a bit typical. But yeah, if you guys want to, are you generous enough? As generous as you guys are already, you can donate a little bit of money, or as much money as you like, on our donations page, and all of it will go help towards bringing better content for you. And also don't forget to hit that follow button so you can keep tabs on when we're live in future scrims. But I think without further ado, unless you got anything to add before we go into this game?
None.
No, excellent. I think we should go into this game. So we'll see you shortly. Stay tuned, and it's going to be an awesome match. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. I'm about to take this first game here today on Sunday, 2nd Division, and it looks like Flax joining eNightmare. What? No, not eNightmare. Igneous is quite an interesting pick.
He'll be the stand-in for Igneous, who start on the blue team, eNightmare on the orange team, and already early on here it's eNightmare who are trying to cause a little bit of pressure and really challenging this aggressive play. Andy, a great shot. Surib was a player who just stopped the ball from going in the Igneous goal. Down the other end, and now the pressure was trying to be brought back in by Igneous on the counter-attack, but nothing quite yet. It's still eNightmare pushing forward, trying to find this goal and trying to get something here. Flake, he'll be able to at least clear the ball away and going up to Dennis. A great shot, a great setup, and just like that, Igneous get a 1-goal lead.
Yeah, such an early opportunity is a damage to eNightmare. We all know they can be a good team, but as we know, this first game's always that worst. I always think the first game's that worst game, and then it just seems to click in place. And this might be with the case here. We might see that eNightmare, this could be their worst game, and they just might pick it up later on in the matches.
Might just be a warm-up for them. Sirax just trying to do what he can with that little ball. Not the best angle for him to work with, but eNightmare, they are going to be able to push it forward here. And this is really another counter trying to come in for them as they look to respond and get this next go in. But for now, they can't even get the ball. It's Igneous just trying to control it, send it away and going for a little counter attack of their own. They won't do anything because eNightmare, again, is going back in there, and then Dennis won't allow them to have another shot at this stage. A great little shot go in, a good cross for eNightmare, looking for the goal. If anything, it's just going to be Flake to clear it away and looking to get a little counter attack set up. Dennis, he tried to challenge it, but Sirax, he was equal to that interception, and a great little pass to Andy. It's not good enough though, as Surib, he will knock it away after being demoed. And Duchess for now, and eNightmare, a good little start for them at this stage. They are trying to respond, but so far it's Igneous in control pretty much.
Yeah, definitely. They've come out in this first game. They really want to show how well they can play together, and just seems to be working out at this moment. They're just being patient, waiting for the ball to be passed into the middle, and if nothing's happening, they'll just back off slightly. And we're seeing here they're giving good challenges, and I think they are currently struggling a little bit.
3 minutes to go, and Flake was trying to get something onto that. He couldn't quite get anything. Flake, sorry. Is it Flak or Flake?
I think it's Flake.
Flake.
Guys, if you know what it is, please give us what it is in chat. I think it's Flake, but I'm not sure. Please give us your knowledge of his name. It'd be absolutely appreciated.
Definitely isn't Flag, because he didn't like being called Flag.
Igneous. Oh, okay, fair enough.
Because that was a little joke going on the playoff Twitch stream yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Approaching halfway through, and still Igneous have this lead and just trying to keep the ball in possession. But eNightmare have a shot. The chance was there from Andy, but Dennis making a crucial little block to deny him a chance to get an equalising goal. Off of that, they're just pushing forward, Igneous, in the counter track pretty much straight away, and still keeping the pressure on. A good little chance. Rib was trying to outplay his man to get the ball towards the goal. Just not going to work out. Flake, he will be now trying to centre the ball. A good centre, almost turned into a shot then. If anything, it just wasn't good enough on the Igneous side, who are pressing for the second goal. They want something else out of this, and so far can't get anything. Approaching 2 minutes, and Sirax is going to try and go forward. A good little aerial dribble, a good setup, a good chance there, but nothing coming off it for eNightmare. And off of that, Igneous, they're trying to push forward here and maybe have a chance of their own. Dennis's shot will be knocked away by Sirax. Great save, and can't quite get the rebound. And is that in? Doesn't quite go in. Igneous can't quite get a second. eNightmare survive another scare.
Yeah, definitely. Good defense coming out in there by these guys. And just a few mistake there by Dennis on the defense, but he seems to have control of the ball. And now Duchess there for the attack. And they seem to be playing really well together here, Igneous. I thought that eNightmare just might prove them a little bit too difficult, but at this moment in time, it just seems that Igneous are holding their own.
Igneous looking good at this stage and might be looking to try and double their lead at this stage here. They've got a chance to go forward. Andy making a crucial hit just to deny him a chance to go forward, and rotating back go Igneous. Now some pressure comes in from eNightmare. A good bit of pressure. There's no one quite in the centre really, and it's becoming a recurring thing that eNightmare are trying to send these balls into the centre, and there's no one really there to really knock them out. It's happening for both sides realistically. Igneous, they're trying to get something there. A good little chance, and Duchess was equal to that ball. Down the other end, Strib, he'll go forward for Igneous, trying to get another goal, and they can't quite get anything. Sirax, a great little angle to send the ball forward. A good shot. Strib's save had to be crucial from Duchess's shot, and off of that, time is really running out for eNightmare. 30 seconds to go. A chance was there, but if anything, the defending eNightmare side just had it under control.
Yeah, this is what I noticed as well with Igneous Esports. Like, since Strib has joined their team, they've come out of their shell a bit, I think. Like, Dennis Srib and TomTom. It's a shame that TomTom's here. This has been a completely different game, I reckon, but Srib has definitely been a unique addition to Igneous Esports.
10 seconds then, and this game pretty much over and done with. Sirax is trying to make something happen right in the end. He's beating one person actually, and he's got a chance to really center it. The center was incoming, but it was a crucial and needed block by Igneous. So there, one last chance potentially, and they won't be able to get anything. Igneous are going to take this first one. Hold on, Sirax has still got the bomb. Still hoping he'll get something in play, and Duchess couldn't quite get it there. In the end, Igneous, they take map number 1, and in not the best game of Rocket League, it's Igneous who come out on top.
Yeah, definitely. Well played to these guys. Here we are, game 2 between Igneous and Esports, and Igneous and Esports at Igneous and eNightmare coming in. And they're playing really well in this first game. Hopefully they can translate it over to game 2.
Duchess will clear the early little chance coming out from Igneous in the early stages of this game, and an aerial dribble was wanted there, but if anything, it's not going to be good enough. Ball's going to go back, and eNightmare might have a chance to reset here. It's going to be Sirib looking to knock the ball away, and if anything, that was a great little chance for eNightmare to take advantage. Now Sirib's going to try and capitalise. An empty goal he had to work with. Sirax had to get that little interception, and oh, a good save by Duchess, blocking Sirib's effort. The second chance, Blake is going to try and go in for another shot here, and the shot isn't going to go realistically anywhere. It's Andy now going to try and clear as eNightmare looks to try and get this responding goal in this map here. Duchess and Sirax starting to feel a little bit of pressure here, and Dennis isn't going to let this pressure go away anytime soon. Andy has to try and clear this, and a great little centre, almost a shot. Sirax had to make that crucial hit away, and off of this, Flake and Igneous, it was looking like they were going to rotate forward for a second. They weren't quite going to do it for this stage. A minute gone, and a chance coming out here for eNightmare. The ball gets centred out. It's Andy there with a chance, but not going to come out in his favour. No,
they had good pressure there, but just wasn't able to do anything with it. And now we're seeing Igneous with the counterplay, and yeah, I'm quite impressed at this moment in time. I know it's only the second game, but yeah, definitely since from the playoffs, they've really trying to change it. Maybe Flak's a good addition to Igneous. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe they've made the right choice in getting this third man in. And what a clanger! Oh, I was just saying how he might be a good addition, and here we are with this absolute long ball right from their half, and yeah, Andy X not managing to get the save.
That's a great goal, and that's going to give Igneous this early advantage in this second game here. One map up and a goal up in this game here, and it's going to be eNightmare trying to and hoping to get a response goal pretty much soon, and they won't want to let this get away from them too soon. Pressure coming in towards the centre of the field as eNightmare try and capitalise and get something in play. We flaked to knock away that ball, but eNightmare back at it again. A chance, a shot. Sirax almost hit it in, and somehow it doesn't land in. Dennis, how is he able to keep this out? I don't know how eNightmare haven't scored, but Igneous on the defending side, they're doing so well.
Yeah, that was a bad mistake there from eNightmare. All three of them in the corner, and if that ball was gone out a bit further, then Igneous could have changed that lead to 2 goals, and obviously eNightmare just having to scramble back.
Oh, a chance almost there for Igneous to take advantage of. It was a mistake really, or just unlucky from Andy and eNightmare, when they tried to push forward for a counter-attack, they just couldn't quite get the ball in their favour. Surak's going to go for a dribble here, beats one man, gets the ball centre, but there's no one there really in his support. Duchess will re-centre the ball, but it's not even going to go far enough. Flake will clear it away, and off of that, Igneous going straight with this counter-attack. Just a one man forward, and eNightmare down the other end. Have a chance. It was Duchess who's boosting himself up. Not going to go much further than that, and Igneous, they are able to really intercept these balls, and eNightmare trying to get something off of it. A great shot, a great centre will be past the Sirax, back to Duchess, and Duchess will be going with the chance here, looking for something, just can't quite get anything.
No, Igneous doing well to challenge these balls early, and they get in the 50-50s, and once they've done, and what a play nearly happening there as Flack passes it over to Dennis or Shreb. I'm not entirely sure who was up front, but that was a good attempt at a shot in the top left corner, and then he managed to make something of their counter, and it's just working out, just doing really well.
On 30 then, and it's the Igneous Academy side who have got this 1-0 advantage. 90 seconds for them to close it out, and eNightmare, they're not really doing that bad. They've got some chances coming in, but Igneous on the defending side are doing really good. Andy trying to get something from that, but won't quite get anything. It's Igneous just going to go with the little attack. Sirax, it's going to be easily challenged and outplayed. Duchess, he wanted that ball, and there's a chance here. You thought for a second there was a chance, and Dennis going for the centre ball. It's just not quite working out for Igneous. A chance, a shot. That's Surib, and Igneous go 2 up.
Yeah, definitely. eNightmare just falling apart here in the second game. I'm not entirely sure what's happening. I don't know if it's positioning or rotations, or I'm not sure if they've had enough warm up. But it just seems like Igneous are just capitalising on their mistakes currently. They're just placing balls where they don't need to be placed. They just need to find their teammates and pass them over to there, where if they're on the left or on the right, and try and make a team play happen. But it's not happening right now.
I'll echo you with that. It feels like the eNightmare just aren't really cooperating, or not cooperating, but just not communicating effectively in terms of where they are and where they want the balls. They're just kind of hitting the ball and hoping it goes somewhere. Sirax has a chance here. eNightmare, they're trying to respond, but the defense from Igneous Academy is just on point. A shot somehow goes in. Duchess got one back, and eNightmare still in this.
Yeah, eNightmare just now slightly waking up, it seems, and that was a good 50-50 from Duchess, and it just goes up to the ceiling, and they're always difficult reads, those ones, where they just bounce up to the ceiling and back down. It's difficult, especially with that camera angle, just facing upwards. You're just like, oh, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. Just, yeah, that's a good play from Duchess.
Duchess couldn't quite get the shot on that time though, and Igneous, despite losing that goal, they're still looking to push forward. They're still looking to try and get something here. And eNightmare, they're trying to get this response going and tie up the series. They've got 15 seconds to do it. A lack of time really on their side, and now they've just got to try and send balls forward. Dennis is going to deny on that chance, and Andy winning that little 50-50 interception there. Sirax, one last chance, and I don't think eNightmare will get anything else here. It's going to be Igneous looking to close this out. One last shot. A chance was coming in, and in the end, eNightmare just couldn't get the ball back up for one last chance. 2-0.
And here we are about to go into game 2 of eNightmare versus Igneous Esports, and Igneous Esports really playing well currently. I mean, we talked about how their stats were just slightly down a little bit other than eNightmare, but they're really coming out on top. They brought their A game today, Or it seems that they brought their A game.
Central upset on the cards here. It's Igneous 2 goals up, or 2 maps up, sorry, in this series. And looking to get a goal up early on here. Andy was just in the right position at the right time there to deny Blake a shot. That was his second shot this fixture. Pushing forward, and Igneous really pushing forward. They're wanting to get something else in play here, and they're really putting on the pressure on eNightmare. Chance and Dennis coming out here in that little 50-50 challenge. And Duchess, he was over the chance, but eNightmare just not really, they're second to all these balls, and they can't. Sirax and eNightmare, they're trying to push forward, and they've got a chance here, almost an open net to shoot into. They just couldn't quite get the right shot on target. A bit of a demo there as Andy ends up falling for eNightmare. And I don't know what to say. We've had a minute gone, and it's both sides really going in for this. Both sides really want it, and it feels like, as we saw before, just eNightmare not really able to control the ball as much and not really able to keep it together. A chance coming in. The Sarib looks to try and centre the ball. If anything, it's just going to be cleared away, and that's set up for Andy. A chance was there, but Sarib had to get that clearance, and a great clearance it was as well. And off of this, eNightmare are continuing to try and push forward, looking for that first goal. A little bit too heavy from Sirax there, and Andy's going to try and get the rebound back in. The centre ball goes in, and despite Andy demolishing Blake, it's not going to be enough. Igneous are doing well with, what, 3 minutes 15 on the clock.
Yeah, definitely. That was a really good tactical play there by Andy, but no one there from eNightmare to follow up, and that would have been an easy goal for them, and they could have really turned the tides on it. And you know how well they can play, but Igneous are just playing better at this moment in time, and we're only into game 3 at the moment. Obviously we've still got another 4 games to go possibly, but at the moment this is Igneous' series.
They're looking to take it, and Dennis will be denied by Andy as Igneous try and get a first goal in this series. They've been really close affairs, and they've only been won by sort of 1 goal deficits, and there's a chance here for Igneous as they try and get this goal. It was Sarib with the chance. It will be cleared away by eNightmare towards the left side of the field. Sarib back again to clear it away. And I'm just trying to control it. Sirax does outplay him, and actually there was a centre ball there for them to work with, but eNightmare just not expecting these centre balls to actually come out and play. Maybe a lack of communication or just a lack of faith in teammates and centering balls. Sirax will try and centre it, and again there's no one in the centre. There is actually Duchess is there. Sirax will try and finish it, but Flake will knock it out. eNightmare so close, not close enough. Duchess will score, and finally eNightmare get the breakthrough.
Yeah, definitely. Finally they managed to break the defense of Igneous, and there was an absolute boomer of a shot in the top left corner, and Dennis, as much as he tried to save it, just was a little bit too late, and he just had to rebound into him and into goal. And now with 2 minutes coming up to the clock left, that's 1 goal to eNightmare.
Finally they get the leads as they've been wanting to get all game, and actually that was a good chance there by Duchess. If he left it a little bit too late, he might have got something better. Sarib, he'll centre the ball as Igneous try and push forward and get a response goal. It is Flake trying to recover, but Sirax is just going to knock it away. Great setup for Duchess, and Sarib were at place at the right time as he blocked that effort. 145, and so far eNightmare looking stronger.
Yeah, the team plays are starting to come out now. It seems that they've warmed up, they've had their cup of tea and cookie, and now it just appears that Igneous are falling apart slightly. Game's turned.
Sirax came closer. He got the good setup and play, but no one from eNightmare to really finish it. And now we're starting to see eNightmare, or they were trying to go and get players in the centre of the field. Sirax with that little save there. And eNightmare early on, they weren't quite getting players in the centre, and now they're starting to. And this pressure by the academy side of Igneous is trying to make sure they get a response goal. So close, not close enough. And Dennis is looking to make it a 1-1 score, and Andy will just save it. Another good save by Duchess. Sarib being blocked, and Igneous trying so hard. eNightmare, they're just holding on so tight.
Yeah, definitely. We just saw another good play there from Igneous, and eNightmare giving the plays as well. And this is what's going to make the difference between either team. One team just needs to outplay the other. They need to get these passes plays in. At this moment, it just, like you were saying a moment ago about how they were just hitting the ball and just for the sake of hitting it, and it just doesn't seem to be doing anything with the ball. They need to see where their teammates are. They need to pass the ball to them and try and get a play so they can outplay their opponents.
Sirax won't win that little 50-50. It's going to be Sarib looking for a goal. A good effort as well in the area. Duchess making a crucial block to deny him as well. In 10 seconds, Igneous trying so hard to get one last thing in this map. Looking to get something and a chance potentially for overtime. Duchess making that save. Sirax hitting that away and it's not quite fully cleared yet. Igneous will eventually get the ball away from them and maybe Surib will try and get something here just before the ball drops, and it's looking like it will drop. eNightmare might even get a second at the end here. The chance, the shot at the end there wasn't quite going to pay off. eNightmare finally responds. It's 2-1 still in favour of their opponents.
Here we are back with game 4, and eNightmare just managing to bring it back just with a 1-goal lead, and that's all they needed. To a bit of a wound for Igneous as they played well in the first 2 games, and just seems like they're slightly bringing it back.
eNightmare looking to make this 2-2 on maps as they try and respond in the 4th game. Surib looking to get the ball early on here, but he can't quite get it, and eNightmare all 5-6 players pretty much aiming to try and get the ball in the early stages here. And he will just about knock it away, trying to centre it for his team, but eNightmare won't come off it, getting anything from that early attack. So it's going to be Sirax getting the ball centred. It was there, the chance was there. Dennis will re-centre it, and now you think Igneous had a chance, but the defending side of eNightmare towards that left corner were just doing so well. Surib's going to try and regain the ball, going for a little dribble, and he can't quite beat Andy though. Sirax is going to centre it, and almost an open net he has to work with. Surib, a crucial, great save as well. Andy trying to hit it down, it eventually fell to Duchess, and he can find the net either. A minute's gone, and so far quite an open affair. Towards the other side, Igneous go for the shot. The chance on Flake isn't quite hitting the target.
No, we saw an early opportunity from eNightmare, and he just hits it just above the crossbar, and you just needed to be a little bit more patient on that shot, and he could have easily shot it past both defenders as they were in an awkward position, and he had the whole right side of the goal to play with, and now we're just having to see Igneous on the counter-attack.
eNightmare, they're now the team on the counter-attack here, but Surib, he was trying to do what he could, and a great little setup, and even the shot, Sirax, a great pass with it.
Yeah, eNightmare definitely waking up now from those first 2 games. They finally found their rhythm, and they're getting in the right positions to challenge the ball, and as we just seen, the defender wasn't really responsive to the ball. I know he didn't really want to hit that ball until the right moment, but Sirax just managing to get it in there.
And he was just trying to get the second ball from kickoff, didn't quite favour him. Dennis's shot eventually saved by Duchess, and his teammate Sirax will deny him another chance, and Flake and both sides really both going for the balls in the air. There's lots of aerial balls coming in here from these 2 sides. Duchess looking to centre the ball here, and the defending side of Surib will just knock it away. Surib this time won't do anything. Flake this time will be the man to clear it away. Not far enough though. Surib he's got trouble here because the ball's being centred. It was a great little knock away by Dennis, and off of that, Dennis and Igneous trying to push forward to get a response goal. Surib gets demoed, and off of that, Sirax regain the ball, going for the aerial chance, and the chance is there. They're looking to centre the ball, and who else is there? No one is there.
No, just a bit of a shoddy performance there from eNightmare. They had the ball in their control, and they just handed it straight back to Igneous, and I feel like compared to the last game where they were managing to pass to their own teammates, and that first goal we just seen a moment ago where they're in position, it just didn't work out for them in this situation here. And Sirax Nice little touch up, and just defender had no option but to try and go for that ball as Sirax had a clean shot.
Wow, great little finish there. Sirax will get one back. eNightmare go 2 to the good and looking to tie this game up, looking ever so likely to go 2-2 in the series. Sirax trying to get the early ball early from kickoff. His teammate Duchess will just knock it back to him. Sirax going off the back ball. The rebound wanted really from eNightmare, and they can't quite find the ball. Dennis will knock it away, and Igneous try and capitalise off of this, but they won't quite get the ball. Andy again with control of the ball only for a second. It's Flake with the interception, knocking away, going for the centre and trying to help his team, but Sirax down the other side end, picking up the loose ball, going for the effort, looking for the second shot, and he'll find it.
Yeah, Igneous Esports just disappointed a little bit in them in this last 2 games. They played so well in the first games, absolutely dominating eNightmare, and it just seems that they've had enough of their cake, as so to say. But eNightmare now changing the tides here, taking it 3 goals with 2 minutes left on the clock.
Can you guys in chat tell us if... Oh, hello Duchess. Almost knocked it in, and it's just going to be tapped in unluckily by Igneous. 4-0 to eNightmare, and they've definitely woken up now.
Yeah, definitely. No, just outplaying their opponent. And Sribs just had to go for that ball, unfortunately. As we saw, whoever that was coming in would have had that goal, definitely, for sure.
I want to know in chat if like they're keeping to the script. I'd love to know. Like, everyone in chat kept saying that they wanted this to be kept to the script. I've got the script here also, by the way, but I need you guys to tell me if we're keeping to the script. Good save. Sirax just denying Sirib with a little chance then. Igneous, it might be a little bit too late for a comeback now, and just everyone crashing and hammering into each other. There's no real control. It's just everyone hogging and wanting the ball. Sirax couldn't quite do anything, but Sirib, his shot will be saved, and Dennis going for the rebound. A great little knock away by Sirib. Off of this, Igneous, they're growing. They're trying to get these shots in, but it's going to be too late if they want to win this. eNightmare certainly proving to be the nightmare of Igneous Academy this game. A minute to go, and I don't know what else Igneous can do here. eNightmare might even go for a 5th here.
Yeah, definitely. And as you say it, that 5th comes in from Duchess. What a play from Sirax, just pops it into the middle. Oh, that was a team play right there. Andy off the corner bar, and Sirax just pops it in the middle, and Duchess, he's already up for that ball, and it just open net. Igneous just needed to intercept that ball a lot earlier than they did, and that wouldn't have happened.
eNightmare probably thinking now who's going to get a hat-trick. Sirax, Duchess both got 2 goals between them, and a 5-0 series. And if you said to me after that first game that eNightmare were going to win one of these 5-0, I'd have been like, no chance. They've certainly woken up. They've certainly got this game under control, and might even look to complete the comeback in this series here. Flake and his team and Igneous just not proven to be what they wanted. Andy, he can't even do it. That's going to be Flake, and Sirax, a crucial touch in the air off of that. 30 seconds left, and now it's just going to be playing for pride if you play for Igneous Academy. Sirax going for the ball. A good little centre, a good little touch as well, and there was a player there. Andy looking to find a shot home. Wasn't quite going to favour him in the end. Dennis, he does hit just a touch, and a great setup. This time Sirib and Igneous do knock it away, and there's a chance of little...
Oh, he goes for it.
Dennis had the second shot there. Duchess saves, and that shot, that little play just kind of summed up the game for Igneous Academy.
here we are. eNightmare finally waking up from what would seem their nightmare, to be say. But now they're bringing it 2 games to 2 and about to into the 5th game. And Igneous really struggling now. It seems that Igneous, I don't know what they're doing, but they played so well to begin with. In those first 2 games, they looked like they were going to take this series. But now eNightmare they've woken up.
Igneous trying to get the upper hand here in the early stages here. Chance was coming in here, and the chance is still alive here. The player is there, and Dennis looking for the shot. Sirax making that good little save, and off of that, Andy going for the counter attack, which will just be cut short by Sarib around the centre of the field. Igneous trying to push forward here, and they've got the ball in possession. Flake, he's now controlling the ball with touch forward by Dennis in support of his teammates, and the centre looking to be brought in by Andy, and it's an open goal for Sirax. His shot not quite on target, unlucky from him. Igneous survivor scare, but it's not over yet. eNightmare pushing, looking for a goal, and at this stage they're not quite going to get it. Sarib for now will knock it away. He's got support and he's got an open goal to work with at this stage. A player, a good little 50-50 with Sirax there, winning that ball, and eNightmare feeling a little bit of pressure, but they look to be in control and might be looking for the early goal as Andy centred the ball. A good centre, a good finish, and that's 1-0 eNightmare lead.
Yeah, the technical side of eNightmare finally coming out as we see the ceiling shot here from Andy X, and he just managed to twist that car in the right position and just beats the defender. Shrib just caught off position, and it brings it to one goal here against Igneous.
Alex used the Twitter hashtag ECC playoffs, and he said Igneous Academy looking good, but eNightmare surely can't throw this, right? Igneous, they're not looking good in this game, and eNightmare, they've responded and they're looking to go 3-2 up in the series. A good save there as Sirax, his shot gets knocked away by Dennis, and off of this, Igneous trying to push forward, looking for a response going. It's just not really working out for them, and Igneous starting to definitely feel the pressure, maybe mentally and certainly on this game. It is Sirax with the ball forward, a chance to work with here for eNightmare, and a good crucial tap away by Dennis, and Duchess trying to find the second ball. He couldn't quite get access to it. Approaching 3 minutes with Andy looking to get something, and Igneous, they're just hoping to get the ball in their favour, and they've started to get something in play, but Duchess and eNightmare seem to be reading this quite well now. Dennis, he's got the shot back under control, and Igneous looking for something, they can't quite get it, and Flake going in for the second attempt. He's got support from Sarib, and with Igneous looking for the shot, they just can't even find a shot.
No, Igneous, they're just falling apart at the seams, and they just really need to have a word with each other, try and figure out what's going on. Maybe they're giving too much space, maybe they're just playing a bit too slow, because eNightmare just seems to be punishing them for this, and maybe going for those corner boosts on defense is not a good option, but who knows. Obviously we don't know what they're talking about, we don't know what's going on inside of their minds, but it's not working out for these guys, and eNightmare just taking full punishment on them.
Andy was trying to get the ball there, approaching 2 minutes now, and eNightmare maybe just looking for the second goal here. It's only a 1-0 lead, so Igneous could certainly come back into it, but it just really isn't working out in their favour. eNightmare trying to push forward, looking for a second chance here. The ball bounces off the back wall, and it's just a little bit too heavy for any eNightmare players to work with, and still they're being allowed to recenter the ball. I don't really think Igneous the ball's got out of the Igneous half for most of the past few minutes. Dennis, he will knock it out, but Duchess is straight to it, and eNightmare, we said in the early stages of the first map they weren't really reading this. They've read their opponents now, and they're looking sharper.
Yeah, they definitely stepped up after that goal there from Shrib. No one challenging it from eNightmare, just left the ball, and I don't think anyone there. Oh, Duchess was there, but he just stopped for some reason. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe he was going for that boost, but that's a bit of a mistake there from him, and now they've been capitalised on it, and now that brings it to a 1-1.
And just like I said, it was only a 1-goal advantage. Igneous right back in this and looking for the second straight away from kickoff. They almost got it. Dennis, the second effort just hitting. I think that was the post, not quite on target. So unlucky. Flake, he's now falling back, but Igneous looking for the second goal and looking to come back from this, and they've suddenly started to wake up a bit, and they're going back into this match as well, but it's end-to-end stuff coming out from the two sides here. eNightmare won't want to lose this, and Igneous is trying so hard to get something here, and Sarib's effort isn't quite on target, just knocked away by the eNightmare defense. Off of that, eNightmare rotating and pushing forward to find a goal. The shot, The ball was centered, no one there to work with it. Surax will get demoed, and off of that Flake, he's got an open net almost to work with. Not quite a good knock away by Andy. The ball is still dangerous. There's still a chance for Igneous to capitalise here, but nothing really they can do, and it just feels so sloppy and messy at this stage. 40 seconds, 1-1, and could be 2-1. Flake, so close, not quite good enough. And Surax down the other end, he's trying to get something in play as well, and I don't think he will.
No, we see a good opportunity there from Igneous Esports. They could have brought it to 2-1 for their side, and that could have boosted their confidence, but see right now they're putting the pressure on, and it's really good for them, and we can see them trying to make plays, but it seems like here again, this is what I mean about position, like there's no one there for to intercept the ball, trying to make something of it, and that was a good effort there from Strib, but this is what I mean, they just seem to be too far or too close apart to each other.
One last chance was there for Igneous. The ball was centered, and the ball's still dangerous and lurking here. eNightmare have to knock this away, and it's not fully cleared yet. One last chance. Dennis trying to recenter it. Strib also joining in, and Dennis, and it's just flying away from them at this point. They won't quite be able to do anything. We're going to overtime. 1-1, and the first time we've seen overtime in this series, and what a good game this is actually turning out to be. eNightmare had the lead. Igneous responded, and Igneous have grown into this.
Yeah, definitely. They've kind of picked the pace up a bit. It seems like they're managing to intercept the balls again, as they were failing a bit in the last game and at the beginning of this game, but obviously now they're going toe-to-toe as they manage to bring it into overtime, and there's an open goal opportunity there for eNightmare and Igneous, sorry, and yeah, but this is what I mean, there's no one there to collect the ball, there's no one there to try and put the pressure on, and this is what Igneous need to do. They need to be there where the ball needs to be at any point. Like, if they got it to the right, someone needs to be there on the right. If it's on the left, they need to be on the left. But as we're saying, eNightmare just managing to beat them to the ball just that ever so much quicker.
So much pressure, it eventually falls in favour of eNightmare. They get the overtime goal. It was Surax with the goal. A great effort, and eNightmare, they're back in the lead. They're in the lead for the first time on series. Now 3-2 here, and looking to completely come back. One last game potentially coming up next.
Here we are, game 6 between eNightmare and Igneous Esports, and eNightmare, they have now woken up as they've just taken the last 3 games, and that just unfortunate defense mistake by Igneous. We saw one on the wall and one just rushed in hoping to get the shot, and if they just been a little bit more patient, they could have easily saved that ball, and that wouldn't have cost them their loss in that last game. And I don't know, I don't know about you, but it just seems that Igneous have fallen apart here in these last 2 games.
Falling apart, you may say, but they've got the pressure going on here, going in the offensive side. They've had a shot, and Dennis looking to get the second shot here. It's a great little knockover by Surax. Flake, though, found the goal. He's got one up for Igneous.
Yeah, definitely. That was a good shot placement as well, right between the defenders. Surax had no option, but he was just flying down. There's nothing he could have done, and there was no one there to support him from eNightmare, and the Flak just had an open goal, essentially. So, well played to them, well played to them.
Do you know what time it is?
I do know what time it is.
It's urban time.
It's urban time.
Andy and eNightmare trying to respond how they can, and Igneous got the perfect start after losing the past 3 maps, and just the start they need here. Duchess and eNightmare They're trying to get a equalising goal at this stage. Can't quite get anything for now. Shrib was trying to send the ball in, and it's an open net almost. A great effort by Sirax, and just like that, eNightmare back in this.
Yeah, just Dennis, I'm not sure if the pressure's... he had all the time in the world. He just needed to rotate back to go ever so slightly, and that would have been an easy save for him. He just jumped way too early, and that just brings it to a 1-goal equaliser here, and with 4 minutes left to go, and if Igneous lose this, they'll be going for a fight for the 3rd place spot, and eNightmare will be going for the opportunity to play for 1st place, where they will be auto-promoted into the Division 2.
I just spoke to the admin, and apparently this is a 7-game series. eNightmare trying to get another goal here to make it 2-1 to get the lead in the favour for the first time. And at this stage, they're definitely applying the pressure. And Igneous starting to feel a bit of pressure on the defensive end. Andy's shot will be knocked away. And his second shot greatly saved by Sarib. And off of that, Sarib's going to push forward. He can't quite do anything else with the ball. Dennis will recover the ball. Looking to go forward here. eNightmare can't quite do a lot at this stage. We're approaching 3 minutes 20 on the clock. And Flake and Igneous, they're looking to get another goal back and regain this lead. And the shot is there actually by Flake, a great save, and they can't do much about Dennis's. Duchess will save it, and Dennis is trying to get another shot in, and he can't do anything. eNightmare keep the pressure up, and for now Dennis will just control the ball, set up nicely for Srib. Duchess though in the corner, just looking to clear this away, and it's not fully cleared yet. Dennis's shot was knocked away by Duchess. And straight down the other end, eNightmare looking for a goal, looking for the second. Duchess came close, but a little bit too high to work the ball. And Andy, some pressure there. Sirax's effort equaled by Dennis. Approaching halfway through. This is a much closer and intenser foul, I think.
Yeah, definitely. eNightmare, as much as they put the pressure on, it seems that Igneous are just responding. And we're seeing a goal opportunity here by Sarib, but an absolute good play. This is what Igneous Esports need to do. They need to get those plays in. They need to see where their players are, and time after time again it works out for them. Not to get these dodgy hits like this one by Dennis. It just puts it in awkward defense. It's so disappointing. Just Flack just getting the unfortunate hit off Andy X's hit. It's just a bad catch there from Flack, and now Dennis. I know, it's such a shame after they were proving themselves in that last minute how well they can actually do. It's just a shame that Flack just gets a bad catch.
Awkward touch, realistically. Sirax and eNightmare trying to go 3-1 up, pretty much coming from kickoff. They can't quite get the ball in their favour. Andy is trying to get the ball back for eNightmare, but it's Igneous in the air, just controlling it really nicely, and good bit of coordination coming out on their side. The passes seem to be on point in the air at times from them. Sirax and Andy, a great little setup. A 1-2 came out from those two, and Srib will be knocking the ball away, and there wasn't enough offensive pressure from eNightmare when they tried to push forward here. Srib will be equal to that challenge and knocked it pretty much further forward as Igneous try and respond. They're looking for the goal, and it was Flake with the effort. He couldn't quite get it on target. He's looking for his second goal of this series, of this match, Cyan. So close, eNightmare can't find a net. Still looking for a third goal into the last 90 seconds now for these two teams, and eNightmare really looking at the pressure. They want the goal, and he's got it.
Yeah, eNightmare, they really want this. They want to get that first place position because they know where they're going. If they get that, they go up to the second division. See, we're seeing that eNightmare just beating Igneous time after time again, and now they brought it up to 3-1 here in what could be the last game for Igneous. And such a shame. They played so well in the beginning, fell apart in the 3rd and 4th game, and they kind of stepped up a little bit in the 5th game, and they're playing really well in this 6th game, and hopefully they can try and turn it around with 1 minute to go. It's still easy enough to score 2 goals in 1 minute to go, but I don't know, it's difficult to see at this moment in time.
Srib was trying to get the first goal back in their favour, but they just can't get it, and they can't quite get the ball. The pressure from eNightmare is just so good, and they're really keeping this pressure on, and Igneous is unable to really control anything at this stage. 50 seconds, and Sirax and eNightmare searching for this 4th goal at this stage. Srib trying to even just get the ball down, and it's going to be Dennis and Srib trying to pass it between them, just struggling to really control the ball both sides, and eNightmare's shot, the 4th shot, a 4th goal, wanted by them, and Sirax, he's got an easy effort, 4-1. And this series is surely completed now.
Yeah, this could be the sting in the tail. eNightmare just securing a 3-goal lead here. I was hoping for Igneous to do really, really well, but they've just fallen apart in this last few games. I think eNightmare have just drained their mentality and they just put the pressure on time and time again, and it just seems to work out for them. And Igneous haven't seemed to pull through.
They went 2-0 up, and since then, Igneous have just been unable to respond. Maybe a goal here. It's a 5th goal for eNightmare, and this series is certainly completed now. eNightmare, they're just playing for fun at this point, it feels like.
Yeah, definitely. Dennis just jumping a little bit too early, just needed to be a little bit more patient, and it could have been an easy save for him, but just because of that early pre-jump, he just unfortunately hits the roof of the inside of the goal.
Pretty much all done at this stage. Sirax and eNightmare searching for a 6th and almost got it from Andy. His aerial shot just not quite teeing off to be favouring him. Igneous just trying to get one last thing, something back at least. Sirax just standing there, easily able to knock that away, and there's a 6th. Oh, it didn't even reach 6-1. So close, but in the end, it's eNightmare who win the series.
Yeah, well played to eNightmare, taking what quite possibly looked like they weren't going to make it to begin with, but then they finally woke up after the second game, as they lost the first 2 games, and they weren't playing very well to begin with, were they? They seemed a bit uncoordinated. They were just hitting the ball for the sake of hitting the ball. Well, that's what it seemed like anyway, but then once that third game came in, they woke up and they just took all 4